Hello there, Saber fans. Shamim here. Today we're looking at a custom Darth Nihilus lightsaber that I just finished up installing. As the base of the hilt, I used a Holocron Nihilus lightsaber from eBay. First thing I did, of course, was gutted it and got rid of all of his garbage electronics. And then I stripped the original finish and then applied a shattered, weathered finish across the entire hilt to give it a much more menacing, dark side, ravenous look and feel to it. Then we did a full custom install with a Prizm5.1 Soundboard from Plector Labs with 6 dark side sound fonts, including Annihilation, which is my Darth Nihilus specific sound font. You've got a Tricree XB2 Deep Red White. You've got 28mm KR Sabers bass speaker, super loud and crisp sound, 18650 lithium-ion battery with an internal recharge port. This is the first Nihilus hilt that I've done that doesn't have an external recharge port or kill key. Because the 5.1 Prizm, of course, has deep sleep mode, whereas previous versions of the Prizm did not. And so an in-hilt recharge port was necessary as opposed to an internal recharge port. But now that the Prizm 5.1 has deep sleep, you can have the exterior clean with just switches and greeblies and no recharge port on the exterior, so recharge port is inside the chassis. And then you've got 2 12mm AV switches that have been weathered to match the rest of the hilt. Got a Graflex style blade plug, which, I don't know, I really like the Graflex style blade plug. It is very versatile. It goes with a lot of different hilts that normally you might not think a Graflex style plug would go with. But for some reason, I really like how the Nihilus hilt looks with just a little bit of brass blade plug from Graflex, from the Graflex design. Let's take a close-up look at some of the shattering. I've brought back the big gash scar across the neck here. This will light up because the LED is mounted right below the gash. You've got shattering and scarring all across the hilt. AV switch has been weathered to match. The cracking pattern is similar to lightning, strikes of lightning. It's as if lightning struck the hilt and then you sort of freeze framed it where the lightning was coursing through the hilt, and that's sort of how the etching pattern works. So it's not necessary, as I've mentioned before on some of my shattered hilts, the way I do the shattering is not so much that you dropped it and like the aluminum or the metal cracked and shattered, so much as lightning is sort of coursing through it. Dark side force energy is coursing through it and causing it to break and shatter in a unique manner that is similar to force lightning. You've got your D-ring down here. This is your pommel retention button head screw. You've got vented for sound. So let's boot her up. This it's designed so that your thumb goes on the main activation and then trigger operates the lower auxiliary. So it's painfully loud, and that's the way I like it. You've got some intense blade flicker going on. It's set at about 80 or 90 in terms of fluctuation out of 100. So that's quite cool. This is Annihilation sound font. It's the Darth Nihilus specific sound font, incorporating his vocal effects from the game. Got deep red blade with white flash on clash. Crazy intense flickering on the lockup. Press and hold the aux button to switch to the next font.
There's been an awakening. Have you felt it? Yes.
This is Crossguard VII. With just a single ignition, of course, because it's not a Crossguard blade, but this is Kylo Ren's font from Episode 7. nice generic dark side font with some really unique whooshing swings. I really like the swings on this one. They're very unique. It's almost as if the blade is a bit more ethereal and unfocused than a regular beam of plasma. Oops. And then turn off.
Ether.
We've got ether. Now this one is set with a white blade with red flash on clash.
Invictus.
Invictus is sort of the little brother to the Dark Lord Sauron sound font. The blasters are incredibly intense. So is the lockout. And what else do we got on here? Necro. I love this font. Alright, well, let's throw a blade in there and just show that off. Blade retention screw is up here, right at the emitter. Out slides your blade plug. There you've got your deep red, white. This saber accepts a 1-inch blade. Because of the way that the original Holocron hilt is constructed, you know, a rod of aluminum with some additional aluminum bits just sort of glued on. I wouldn't recommend it for heavy dueling. Light to medium would be quite fine, and the electronics are just fine for, they can stand up to the abuse of dueling, but the hilt itself I'm a little worried about just because of the way that Holocron chose to make his hilts. So this is sort of a salmon color in person. It's reds at 1023 and then white at about 400. If we switch, now this is all white with red flash on clash. And we're in solid deep red with white flash on clash. I love the way that the scar shows up in the dark. It's beautiful. So yeah, there you have it, guys. Darth Nihilus with internal recharge port, Prizm5.1 Soundboard, deep red main blade, white flash on clash, two 12mm AV switches, all shattered to hell and back again. This saber is going up for sale. Link is below. So if you're interested in owning one of my custom Darth Nihilus hilts, now is your chance. I don't have any more of these in stock, so it'll be a long time before I do another Nihilus. So if you've been wanting one, this is your chance for at least the foreseeable future. Thank you all so much for watching, and may the Force be with you.